Okay, so again, if you want to use any props, then take blocks, set them up towards the top of your mat, or any of the props that will help you in your practice. We're going to start this class in a child's pose. So knees slightly wide, toes to touch, hips towards heels. Reach your arms out in front of you. And if you'd like, you can first stay in something that's a little bit softer with soft elbows and relaxed fingertips. Just take a few moments to center yourself and arrive. And with the forehead touching your mat or your fists supported somewhere, feel that pressure and let that create some relaxation through your face. Allow your breath to become more big, more even. And direct your thoughts to a dedication or intention that suits you best for this morning, perhaps even just to find some levity. Let's take a very deep breath in together, and then a full exhale. Then reach your arms out in front of you. So staying in your child's pose, your balasana, come up onto your finger pads. Roll your inner elbows up toward the ceiling. So it might feel like your shoulder blades are starting to come down and around. As you do that, start to reach your hips towards your heels even more. You might begin to find some core engagement, maybe stretch through your hip flexors. And depending on how your shoulder is, you might start to feel it through your tops of your shoulders, the sides of your body, maybe a little bit of everything. So keep clawing at the mat, keep reaching away, create as much space as you can. And then on an exhale, release, get soft once again. Come up onto your hands and knees, and then you're just gonna rock over onto your back. And then first pull your knees in towards your body, a little bit more knees towards your armpits. Active through your feet, so find a little flexion of your feet. As you're pulling your shins towards you, start to reach your tailbone down toward the mat, and you might start to feel a deeper stretch in your hip flexors here as well, stretching through your feet, even building some warmth here. And then we're going to take a half happy baby. Take your right hand to the inside of your knee and then grasp your calf, ankle, or all the way up to your foot. Release your left foot down. Try to tack your left hip down so you've got more of like a flatter pelvis. You're not super rocking off to the side. See what you can do here. And then if it's available, you might extend your left leg out in front of you. Again, find some action through your toes, point flex, whatever works for you. And then with that right leg, you're still pulling your right knee down towards your armpit to the outside, and you're pressing up to your right heel. All right, release that foot, both feet into mat. Happy baby, half happy baby on the left side. Again, take a moment to get situated. Your knees to the outside of your elbow, and then maybe extend right leg out. Again, find some action through your right toes. Your left knee pulls down. Your left heel presses up. Trying to find a little bit of equality between your hips. All right, exhale, release. I'm going to take a full happy baby pose here. So really, really active. Pulling these down, pressing heels up, flexing your toes, releasing your jaw. Get soft. Notice if you're straining around the muscles around your eyes. All right, then release that. Take your hands in towards your shins, rock up and down the length of your spine. You're going to come to a Navasana pose. So you're going to come to your boat pose, maybe landing. And then if it is comfortable for you, find your edge, maybe reach your arms out alongside you. If you need to keep your hands to your thighs so you can keep your back straight, then please do that. Really focus on making sure that your back is straight. You've got a straight spine and you're engaging your core here and not slumping down. Super important because we're going to be using this shape later. Continue to breathe, long and slow. And then we're going to slowly lower to Ardha Navasana. So start to straighten your legs and hover. You're going to lean back. Again, action through your toes. Your feet are going about 6 inches away from the mat, give or take. And you're leaning back, but your shoulders are away. Continue to breathe. If you've got a little bit of a shake, that's totally fine. On an exhale, pull up to Navasana, pull knees into your chest. Stay here for a couple breaths. And then lower once again. Hover in Ardha, pulling your belly tight, giving yourself lots of strength and support here. Pull up to Navasana, knees into chest. One more time, lower to hover, look towards your toes, keep your shoulders lifted, but a lot of your back is still on the mat. Come up to Navasana, then just roll over your hands and knees, tabletop position. And let's stretch that out a little bit. So first we're gonna take a couple cow and cat, fingertips spread wide. You know the game here, drop your belly, get that stretch through the front of your body, shoulder blades reach back, look up. Exhale, press into your cat pose. I think I just called that cat, that's cow. Come back to cow. And then back to cat. Then come back down to your neutral spine, tuck your toes, hover your knees away from your mat. We're gonna take those poses again. So inner elbows come forward, inhale, drop belly. Exhale, press up into cat. Keeping your knees hovered. So you can keep your heels up and not just like splayed out to the sides. Inhale, take it forward to your cow pose. Exhale to cat. Once more. And then come up and back to downward facing dog. Give yourself just a couple breaths, maybe a little bit of a shift. Find that stretch, find your posture. Come to the top of your toes. Inhale, come to the top of a plank pose. Check your work, adjust your stance if you need. Inner elbows are facing forward. Belly is strong. On an exhale, take your chin to chest, rock it up and back to downward facing dog. We're gonna take that once more. Inhale, rise to toes, float to the top of a plank pose, extend out. Exhale, take it up and back, down dog. On your next inhale, right leg comes up and back. So you've got a tripod dog. And then let's really focus on drawing the left hip back. You might find a deeper stretch to the outside of your left knee or even the back of your thigh. And as your right leg is extended, your right pinky toe is ever so slightly pointed down. Press away with your hands, get really long. Then on an exhale, take your knee to your right tricep, really come forward. Inner elbows pointing forward, lift your heel up to your bum. Inhale, take it up and back again. Left thigh is long. Exhale, take your knee to your right tricep. Inhale, up and back. Knee to the right tricep. Inhale, up and back. This time, place your foot between your hands. And we're gonna take those hip dips. So again, if you like having a block nearby, bring them in close. Any height will do. Top height, not super recommended. On an inhale, drop your hips, reach your heart forward, kind of like that cow pose. Exhale, take it up and back, modified pyramid, reach your chin towards your shin. Inhale, drop it down, keep your left knee bent as you come forward. Exhale, up and back. One more time. And then up and back for your modified pyramid. We're gonna hang here for just a couple moments. However, I actually want us to move to a traditional pyramid. So take a little bend to the right knee, step your left foot in slightly so you can angle it at 45 degrees, and then pull your right hip backwards. So you can keep your hands where they are, or if you'd like to continue with a little bit more core strength here, which will serve you in a bit, reach your arms out alongside your ears, wrap your pinkies toward each other. Keep pressing through your feet, lift up on your right kneecap if your leg is straight, right hip draws back. And then on an exhale, release your hands down to the mat, bend into the front knee, pivot onto the ball of your back foot, heel and toes in the same direction, step your left foot forward, forward fold. 3 times, halfway lift. Inhale, look out, fingertips press against something, engage your core. Exhale, keep the length, forward fold. Inhale, wave out long. Exhale, fold. Once more, inhale, come out. Press your feet down and away from each other to assist you. Exhale, take it all the way down. Then take your hands to your hips, point up your elbows, roll your shoulder blades back onto your back, send your chin out. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, arms alongside your body, Tadasana pose. Inhale, palms lift, chin up. Exhale, forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Step back to top of plank pose. And we're going to play with our Chaturanga here. So always an option. In fact, like for this first one, let's just take our knees down since we're going to take several of these. Elbows point back and your elbows point forward. Long spine. On an exhale, keep your elbows grazed all the way through your ribcage. Roll all the way down to the mat. Untuck toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Draw your hands alongside the mat, press through all 10 toenails. Exhale, release it back. And then we're gonna press back to downward facing dog. If you'd like, tuck your toes, forehead to the mat and elbows point up. Get everything engaged. And then press up through your chaturanga. Take it back to down dog. On an inhale, left leg up and back. Again, right hip draws back, left pinky toes barely pointing down. Give yourself lots of space. On an exhale, take your knee to your left tricep. Keep it high. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Spread your fingertips wide. Let your hands help you out here. Take it up. Third time, knee to left tricep. Heel is super high, hips are high. Up and back. And then this time, place your foot between your hands towards your left thumb. Hip dips once again. If you like your blocks, you can just come onto spider fingers. Inhale, drop down, heart forward, gaze up. Exhale, take it back, modified pyramid, chin to chin. Inhale, get low, open up through your heart. Exhale, use the space that you've used and bow. One more time like that. Inhale, take it forward. Exhale, release back. And here's when we're gonna take that pyramid pose. So lift up halfway, bend your left knee a bit, step your right foot in, maybe about 25% of the way, perhaps a third. Angle down, pressing to the outer edge of your right foot, and then press down through your left foot so much that your left hip draws back so you have a similar sensation as when we were taking that tripod dog. So, of course, you can keep your hands right here, press into your blocks or your mat and just focus on what's happening with your legs. Or if you'd like, bring your arms out so that your your biceps rather, are more alongside your ears. So reaching the crown of your head forward, left hip back, pressing through both feet, active through your fingers. And then exhale, release the hand back down, bend into the left knee, pivot onto the back toes so that your heel rises up, step your right foot forward, forward fold. 3 times, halfway lift, breath in, look out. Exhale, forward fold, really intensify this, exaggerate. Inhale, take it out, push your feet down away from each other, exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, take it out, and exhale, fold. Take your hands to your hips, point your elbows up, roll your shoulder blades on your back, chin out. Inhale, come up, standing. Exhale, Tadasana pose. Inhale, hands lift, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step back to top of plank pose. I'm going to take Chaturanga. If you'd like to take the knees down option, please do that. Inner elbows point forward so your elbows can point directly back. Low belly in, start to lower. Raise your rib cage. Untuck your toes or roll over your toe. Come into your upward facing dog. And on an exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. On your next breath in, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Keep the left thigh long. On an exhale, take your knee to your right elbow and then place your foot to the outside of your right hand. Gonna take lizard pose. So right toes out to the side. Maybe drop the left knee down. Your choice whether you'd like to untuck your toes or not. Your choice if you'd like to use blocks. Reach your heart forward. So really feel that same feeling that we did when we were doing our hip dips here. Lots of space here. And then start to descend down, maybe onto your forearms. And for this variation, this is the one where you're going to press down through your foot so that your right knee is generally pointing up rather than rocking out to the side. So very active through your lizard. And also if you have your left toes untucked, be sure that you're pointing your left heel up toward the ceiling. It's not rocking out to the side. Press your hands into the mat to lift your way up. And then walk your right foot in so that you've got your heel aligned with knee and hip. Tuck your back toes, lift up your back knee. All right, have your hands away from the mat, and then your other come up, high lunge, sit low. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears. Find some softness in the back of your neck. We're going to move forward to an eagle pose, garudasana. So lean forward, and then on an exhale, you're going to come forward. Your left leg comes on top. Maybe you don't need any extra steps. Maybe you just take a couple hops along the way. And then we're going to take left elbow underneath, wrapping once or twice, and maybe just hands to shoulders. Squeeze your joints toward each other. Knees will move a little bit more to the left. Reach your palms away from you. And then you're going to unravel the top leg, send it back, unravel your hands, hands come down, coming to standing splits. So again, long through the right side of your body. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale to send your chest down. Continue to breathe here. And then we're going to come into that pyramid pose once again. So take a little bend to your right knee, step your left foot back, and then straighten the front leg. You might find that you need to adjust your stance a little bit. Right hip back, inhale long, exhale, chin to shin, this shin to shin. You know what I mean, right? Reach your chest to your thigh. Right hip is pulling back, press down through both feet. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, descend. All right, inhale, come up halfway. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot, wiggle it back. So you're in a low lunge, step your right foot back to meet your left. And we're gonna take a vinyasa on our way back to downward facing dog. Again, elbows point back. Reach your crown of your head forward. On an exhale, lower. Don't allow your shoulders to go below your elbows. Untuck your toes. Inhale, come up, upward facing dog, and then back to downward facing dog. Deep inhale, full exhale. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, take your knee to your left elbow or tricep, and then place your foot to the outside of your left hand so we can take lizard pose. I took knee down, so if you took it on the first side, take it on the second as well. It looks like we lost Emily for a moment. Untuck your toes if that is the option you took on the first side, and then begin to come into your lizard. Welcome back. Again, making an effort to point the right heel up, left knee generally up. Try not to crinkle up too much, but rather than let it come out. Very active lizard. And when the sides start to feel generally the same as the one that did before, come up onto your hands. Wiggle the left foot in, find that alignment of heel, knee, and hip. Tuck back toes if you took knee down approach, and then pop up the back knee. Have your fingertips away from the mat, and then rise up. High lunge on this side. Really get long, get strong, and we're gonna take it forward to garudasana. So lean forward, give yourself all of that direction, and then on an exhale, maybe even like make a little sound, come forward. Right thigh crosses on top of left. Maybe once, maybe twice. Right elbow on the bottom. Once, twice, or hands to your shoulders. Start to bring your knees a little bit more over to the right. Squeeze your joints together. Just breathe. And then start to unravel your legs, extend back, unravel your arms, come down, standing splits. Lifting up the inner right thigh. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold over. Long through the left thigh. Stay here for several breaths. And then when you're ready, a little bend to your left knee. You're going to step the right foot back, coming to pyramid pose once again. Parshvattanasana. Left heel draws back. Again, check your work. If you need to adjust your legs, please do what you need. And then chin to shin, reach forward. Again, if you ever find that you would prefer to have blocks here, then please use them. If you need to bend through either of your knees, do that. But see if you can, if your knees are bent, you're going to start to move towards straightening them. But just imagine you're putting about 20% of your effort into that. All right, lift up halfway, bend into the left knee. Put onto the ball of your back foot so that your heel is up. Slide the foot back. So you're back to this low lunge. Step your left foot back to meet your right. High plank pose. Set yourself up. Inner elbows forward. Long spine. Inhale here. On an exhale, shift forward. Elbows point straight back, raising your rib cage. Either roll over your toes or untuck. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale, take it up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. On your next breath in, take your right leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, take your foot to the outside of your right hand. And then we're going to take the left foot forward. So we come forward to a malasana pose. Again, exhale, lift up your left leg and then place your foot to the outside. Heels in, toes out. Begin to sit down to garland pose, palms pressed together. Lift up through the crown of your head. Feel your thighs pressing into your elbows, elbows pressing into thighs. And breathe here. On your next exhale, you're going to press through your feet and come up all the way to standing. Yeah. Heel toe your feet back in so they are parallel. Inhale, palms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift, offer. Exhale, fold, step back to top of plank pose. Knees up or down through Chaturanga. Elbows back, reach back to the insides of your thighs. Come down to hover or all the way to the mat. Untuck toes or roll over your toes. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, place your foot to the outside of your left hand. Really keep your heel and knee high. And then we're going to take right foot to the outside of right hand. Malasana pose. Once again, sit low. Press your palms together. Start to reach your thumbs toward your sternum. Shoulder blades start to reach for each other. Tops of shoulders away from your ears. Soft through your forehead, soft through your eyes. And then on an exhale, come all the way up to standing. Heel toe your feet back in. Inhale, hands lift, chin up. Exhale, forward fold. Breath in, half lift. Exhale, fold, step back to top of plank pose. Elbows point back, fingertips spread wide, really press down through the index finger mount. On an exhale, elbows point back as you lower. Untuck toes, your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. One more inhale. One more exhale. Take a bend to your knees and then take your hands, your fingertips are still spread really wide, but thumbs to touch. All right, bend your knees, shoulder blades back, engage your core. Coming up onto your toes usually helps here. We're going to hop forward to a malasana pose. So maybe just get like a little bit of momentum so you're not resting into your shoulders, also really important. On an exhale, come forward, feet to the outside. Drop your hips, hands to touch. And now we're going to start to play with our Bakasana pose. So coming into our crow pose here. If you like to use blocks here, one way that you can do it is to stand on your block. That way your heels are just a little bit higher away from the mat. And it might be easier to get your knee to the back of your arm. So from your malasana pose, lift up your hips and then start to, I like to walk my feet in just a little bit, bend my knees. And then like with all that Chaturanga work we're doing that exact same thing here, which is also going to serve us in a moment. Elbows point back, long spine, lift up onto your toes. And this is where that block gives you like, an extra several inches of lift. Knees up into your armpits, backs of your upper arms. Shrug your shoulder blades back, find all that same movement, shift forward. And then you're gonna lift up one foot, try the other foot, try one and keeping it up, and then try the other. And then you're gonna bring your toes up, bring them to touch. Just breathe, focus on the Bakasana first, and then come down, rock back, maybe take a forward fold. Shake it out. And then we're gonna go for that, just that Bakasana part once again. So bend into your knees. Replace your hands. Again, if you wanna step on your block, do that. Elbows point back, lengthen through your spine. Yes. High up onto your toes, so you can bring your knees in really high. And your elbows pointing back are going to help you here. Still find a little bit of cobra through your chest. Yes. And lift up one heel. Maybe try the other. And then perhaps try those two together at the same time. There we go. Yes. Good eye gaze. I mean, that looks good. Camera, be sure that you're pointing your elbows backwards. It's hard for you to tell at the angle. You might be doing it. Nice, Rima. Okay. So now if you guys want to come down, shake it out, do a little bit of ragdoll. The next part that we're going to take here is we're going to take that Bakasana. We've been practicing Bakasana now. A lot of bringing things inward, right? Even our happy baby is a very similar shape. I'm going to practice taking that to our Chaturanga. There's a lot of similar things that happen. Some things to remember as you're moving from your Bakasana, your crow, to your Chaturanga is not only are you shooting your legs back, you want to reach your heart forward. And really it's going to stay in the same place, but you want to feel like you're having this movement in both directions and not just pushing back. Because as you know the way physics works, if you push back, something's going to happen to the front. So you need it to be equal. So you're pushing out through your chest, your heart, engaging your core as much as your legs extend back. Something that will also help you here is if you are thinking about from your crow, when you're pushing back, you're bringing your knees together and back. All of that inner rotation of your inner thighs that we've been talking about when we've been going into those pyramid poses. See if you can conjure that. The same kind of stuff that we're doing when we're doing our tripod dogs. Same thing we're doing when we're doing our standing splits. You're going to do that, except you're just going to float as you do it. And as far as your shoulders go, you want to try to keep your shoulders lifted like you would in Chaturanga. Again, you reach your heart forward, bring your legs together and back. So you'll set up for your Bakasana in the same way. If when you shoot back, I would not recommend having a block because you might hit your belly on it and that's no good. So if you are going to be practicing the shooting back, do set your block to the side. So hands down, heels up, loose neck, get soft, come forward, toes up, toes to touch, and then on an exhale, come forward. Shoot my chest forward, shoot my legs back. I brought my knees together. Untuck toes. Inhale, give yourself a stretch. And exhale, rock it back.
You make it look so easy.
It's not.
I know.
You're like, we've been here before. Are you guys, do you have any questions before you want to start playing? Are you ready to go? Let me know if you need to see it again. Are you good? Okay, I'll walk you through it. So you're going to come to your crow pose. We don't have to hang out in crow forever here, but you want to strike the pose. You want to give that pose all of its respect that it deserves because it does set you up for the Chaturanga. So fingertips spread wide, elbows back, shoulders back, look forward, up onto your toes, come forward, knees nestle in, really find that connection. We did that a lot when we were doing our tripod core work. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but it's got a purpose. Toes up, and then on an exhale, heart forward, legs back together and back. Yes, keep your elbows in.
As I fell out of that, there was this huge crash. And my kids were like, "Are you okay?"
We're fine. We're just practicing yoga. That's all. Keep your gaze forward, Emily. You don't have to look towards your knees because your legs are going to do what they're going to do. Yes. All right, and then bring your knees toward each other. Yeah. You're totally on the right path. That's it. Rima long through your spine. Yeah. Yes. And then you just went out of frame, like, oh. Nice, you guys. All right, questions, thoughts, anything where you're like, this feels weird, or maybe breakthroughs?
I find it really hard to get the momentum to go back. So like I take my feet off and then I just fall down.
You fall back.
But
Think about bringing
down. I fall down.
You fall, yeah, right. You fall down. So yes, gravity. It makes it really hard. Something that you can consider doing is when, just like to keep in mind, is you know how I talk a lot about like knitting your ribs in? Yeah. like pulling your hips towards your ribs and like getting this like strong core and like creating this like pillar of stability. You want to do that here. And part of that is going to be, and it's a quick movement, but you're bringing, part of that is that you're bringing your knees toward each other as you do it. And then that helps you to shoot both your legs back at the same time because you're starting to bring your knees inward. So then there's this like movement where you're taking them back and you've got more things are aligned. Does that make sense? Kind of. As much sense as it's going to make at the moment. You guys want to go once more? Rima, you good? Okay. Yes, Emily, you just went back so much further. That was significant.
Yay.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I could see that difference. That was a lot. That was awesome. Awesome, you guys are amazing. Okay, let's rest for a bit, start to unwind. So shockingly, this class goes so fast. We have just enough time. So whenever you're ready, just come onto your back. And then just for like a moment of success, give yourself crow pose here on your back, toes to touch, hands up. Stretch your fingertips back towards you. Bring your knees up towards the upper parts of your arms. Back is long. In crow pose. And then just for fun, on an exhale, you're going to move to your Chaturanga from here. So start to bring your knees toward each other. Elbows come down. Extend your legs out. Heels on the mat. Flex your toes toward your face. And then relax down. So you just did your crow to Chaturanga. You just have to flip it to the other side. We're going to take either a shoulder stand or a supported shoulder stand or legs up wall. I'm going to be just taking a supported shoulder stand without block. So setting my feet up. If you've got any kind of neck or shoulder issue, even if you just think maybe that's happening, then I advise you against the shoulder stand. Make sure your shoulders are underneath you. If your legs are up, you do not need to have them completely straight. It's up to you. If you have your legs completely straight, it does add an element of core engagement. So this has to do much more with what your intention is rather than whatever I have instructed. This is time for you to explore your own practice and answer to yourself. And when you're ready, you're going to start to bend your knees or come off of the block if you have. And take gentle supine twist, right knee in, left leg out. Draw your knee across your body. Make the adjustments that you need. So maybe both shoulders will be closer to the mat and set your gaze over to the right. Allow your eyes to soften or eyes to close. 3 breaths. After the 3rd exhale, when you're ready, take your head and knee back to center. Extend right leg out, pull left knee in, and twist to the opposite direction. Make all the adjustments you need. Offer yourself some softness and then give yourself 3 breaths. And then take everything back to center. Pull your knees in towards you. Give yourself an embrace. Offering yourself some gratitude for what amazing feats you have accomplished already. All the way up to this moment and through this class. Offer yourself acceptance and love. Give yourself gratitude for all of this and all that is to come. And then on an exhale, start to release back and come to your Shavasana posture. Extending legs out in front of you. If you've got a prop to place underneath your knees, you can do that. Or if your low back is starting to feel something, then bend your knees and let your feet become a little bit wider so your knees can rest against each other. Once you come to a place of stillness, begin the systematic process of letting go, releasing muscular tension. allowing your consciousness to come to the forefront. Begin to take a deep breath and a fuller exhale. And with your intention or the dedication you've set for yourself, begin to find some movements through your body, allowing this to grow larger and maybe taking a good morning stretch. And then roll over onto your right side, pausing for a moment or two. And then begin to transition to a seated posture as we close out our practice this morning. Take your hands to your heart space, thumbs to your sternum, fingertips pointing straight up, palms against each other. And with a deep breath, your chest presses into your thumbs press back, reminding you of where you are. And then on an inhale, bring your arms out and up, send your chin up. And on an exhale, take your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows for clarity of thought, to your lips for clarity of speech, and into your heart once again for clarity of action. Our head to your heart in honor, in gratitude, and in humility. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Thank you for allowing me to guide you. Thank you for that honor. I'm eternally grateful for you, that we all move forward with compassion, acceptance, love, and light. In the name of the highest good, namaste.